The smell of roasted meat and sparkling wine drifted through the backyard. Laughter filled the air, too bright, too polished, too fake. I stood near the edge of the crowd, pretending to enjoy the sunlight while my fingers clenched behind my back. "Come here, sweetheart. We have a surprise," my mother called, her voice cheerful and warm. I smiled politely. "A surprise? For me?" She blinked, confused for a moment, then laughed lightly. "Oh, was that today?" "No, dear. It's for your sister. She's pregnant." The group cheered as my younger sister pressed her hand against her stomach, glowing under the attention. Everyone clapped, raised glasses, and toasted her new chapter. I stood there smiling, the expression fixed on my face while something inside me splintered quietly. No one noticed. When I turned away, I didn't storm off or make a scene. I just walked, slowly, deliberately, while behind me, they celebrated her new life, completely unaware they'd forgotten mine. It hadn't always been this way. I used to be the pride of the family, the dependable one, the achiever, the daughter my mother showed off to her friends. "She's so responsible," she'd boast. But things shifted the day my sister grew into her role. Delicate, emotional, always in need of rescue. People called her sweet. I knew better. Her fragility was her weapon. I defended her for years, covered for her lies, protected her reputation. I never saw how carefully she was replacing me, emotionally, socially, even financially. The change was subtle. My mother stopped asking about my job. My father forgot where I worked. When my sister made mistakes, they called it stress. When she gossiped, they called it honesty. When I tried to point out the manipulation, she'd tear up and whisper, "You're just jealous." That was the moment I saw her clearly, not as fragile, but as strategic. She wasn't breaking things by accident. She was rearranging the family, piece by piece, until I no longer fit. Months later came the final blow. My mother asked me to review her will. "Just a formality," she said. I skimmed the papers and froze. My name was barely there. Everything, savings, house, family shares, was being left to my sister. "Why?" I asked. My mother smiled softly. "You're doing well, sweetheart. You don't need our help. Your sister's starting a family." I nodded. I didn't argue. I just went home and started planning. I knew accusing her outright would make me look bitter. She'd already built her image too perfectly. So I decided to let the truth expose itself. Step 1, evidence. I collected everything, messages, call logs, bank records. I found the transfer she'd made from Mom's account, masked as medical expenses. Step 2, perception. I reached out to old family friends, mentioned in passing that my sister seemed a bit overwhelmed lately, struggling financially. I never accused her directly. I just let the idea plant itself. Step 3, the illusion. I pretended everything was fine. I laughed at her jokes, complimented her, even offered to host her baby's shower. She believed I'd forgiven her. She didn't realize the trap was already set. 2 weeks after the barbecue, I sent an anonymous folder to every family contact. Screenshots, bank records, and one short recording. Her bragging to a friend about how easily she could guide our mother's choices. Then I waited. The family group chat went silent. My phone stopped ringing. A few hours later, messages started pouring in, confused, furious, ashamed. Finally, my mother called, her voice trembling. Why would she do this? I didn't answer. I just said, "You forgot my birthday," and hung up. A few days later, I visited the house. The same backyard, the same table. But this time, the laughter was gone. My mother sat pale and hollow-eyed. My father wouldn't meet my gaze. My sister, red-eyed and shaking, tried to speak first. "You destroyed me," she whispered. I tilted my head, slightly. "No, I just showed them who you are." Tears welled up in her eyes. I felt nothing. I'd spent years crying while she smiled. Now she could sit in that silence. My mother reached for my hand. "We didn't know," she said softly. I stepped back. "You didn't want to." Then I left. For good this time. A week later, my phone buzzed. A text from my mother. "I'm sorry." I didn't reply. Forgiveness wasn't the point. Awareness was. They needed to see what they'd allowed to happen. That night, I opened a bottle of wine, lit a candle, and celebrated my birthday alone. Quietly, peacefully. People imagine revenge as noise and destruction. But real revenge? It's calm. It's the quiet satisfaction of watching the truth surface without lifting your voice, without shedding a tear. At that barbecue, they thought my smile meant defeat. They mistook my silence for weakness. But tears can be armor, too. They cloud vision, and they never saw what was coming.